Hello everyone, and welcome to the 8th part tutorial of how to model SentryGun. So this time we will complete this area here, the last pivot here that's supposed to be here. Now the thing is that I didn't know how to make this at first, but I didn't even experiment on how to do this, but I assume that I will be able to do something using the same approach that I've done here. So what we're going to do is simple. We're gonna make a copy of this one here. Okay, so I will right click, choose the foreview, go to front view, right click, choose face. Okay, again, it's better to do this, on the background. Just select the object and somewhere in the background right click and choose face. Let's grab these and duplicate them. Make sure that keep faces together is turned on, and duplicate face. So it's duplicated. Press F8 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and Control unselect this. Okay, and now what we will do is it's a little bit I don't know, we need to scale this, so I will first modify the pivot for it, and let's close this one, and let's close this one. Now we'll put this over here and use the foreview and the side view. Oh my god, the neighbors are acting like... Okay, we will scale this. If you see what I've done, I was basically putting this this middle edge in front of this middle edge, so it will be centered, and we want this to be here. Okay, now thing is that it somewhat doesn't really how it should be, so I will scale this to about so, I think, and try and move the vertices of this a little bit lower. So also this pivot here should be a little bit more to the right, so let's do something like that. We will right click, choose vertices, grab all those vertices of this arm here, Control Shift to add to selection, and I will stretch this a little bit. Okay, so it will fit this. It doesn't have to be that much to the right, but under the circumstances we will have to do this. Shift select those both and those here, and do it that way. Okay, so it's that way, it's fitting the same angle here. Now we'll grab this one here and match this to that one, but what we will need to do is stretch this first, make it bigger, and scale it down like so. Maybe scale it down a little bit more like so, and we will have to modify those in the middle here in order to make the shape a little bit more as we should. So I'm gonna select all the inner ones first, because they are most important in this case. I'll just make it wider and unselect those and those, and just open it up a little bit and bring this up like so. Also grab these. Okay, I will shift select whatever is there, let's zoom in, it's just difficult to see this that way, and open this up here. And this one here is the tricky one, which we will need to bring down and both of them together, it's just offsetted a little bit. So these two also, like so, and F8 to bring it back to object mode, bring it up, and now let's scale those vertices here back over here, that way. So that's fine, okay? We can always come and you can see that this part here is a little bit went up, so we can move it down that way, so it will be somewhat the same angle. And press F8 to bring it back to object mode. Now we need to deal with this like so. We will first squeeze it that way and create a copy of this. Control D to duplicate this and move this copy over this side. I will use the foreview to align them to the other shapes. I mean, look at this. Maybe I'll use the foreview because that way I can see what's going on here. I can choose this to see where it goes, or maybe the face here, so I can see where is it according. See? So it's somewhere here and in there. So I will move down this one a little bit more over here, and this one, let's see, faces a little bit more over here. So I can move both of them a little bit more, but maybe it's better that way. Also, you need to rely on those two edges here, which is, you can see it's kind of the same point, so that's okay, let's leave it. Now I'm gonna bring this all down for a second. Just bring this down. I wanna create a cylinder here on top of this. So the cylinder will be, first we will need to scale it to the same hole size there, to there. So I'm gonna use the foreview again and bring this cylinder over here and over here to the center. I think that this is the center, and scale it down about so. Okay, now let's move preview this so we will have a better understanding on how the whole is fitting. Okay, so that's fine, and let's scale this, stretch it. By the way, you can see that the distance is a little bit different in both of them, so this is a good time to adjust this. This one is closer, so this one will have to move a little bit closer, like the other. Okay, maybe now, yeah, that now that looks like a little bit more. No, now it's too much. Okay, so let's stretch this thing here like so, and you wanna right click, choose edge, grab this edge, control, right click, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. Now we will add some offset edge loops. Now the first edge loops will be the farthest, okay, as always. So I want to add one edge loop here, one edge loop here. So I will start by creating one. Again, same problem, sorry about this, it doesn't stop to bother me. Okay, so one are somewhat here, here. Okay, you know what? Let's bring this here. Let's create only those ones. I can bevel this or extrude this out later, so to look a little bit more interesting. Okay, let's do this that way. Now the others will be here, and we will create one more because we are gonna attach these inner faces, I mean the ones that in between those edge loops, to this arm. So I can now bring it down to Earth so we can work on it and attach it to this figure here. Okay, now as you can see, the figure is a little bit more bigger than this cylinder. So we have two options, and it's either we will try and reduce the size here, okay, and maybe make it a cone or something. So if I will grab these, I can scale them down at the same time to something like that. Okay, and this one to something like that. Now we can make it like so, and basically try and match this that way. Alright, so last thing is to attach it, and let's see what we have here to deal with. So we need 3 of them, okay, but we have 4, so maybe let's start by pulling out the faces that we don't need, those. And delete them, press F8, bring it back to object mode, and rotate this thing a little bit, okay, like so. And let's grab this figure and let's pick all those faces here and delete them. Alright, maybe I will add one more edge loop, but I don't want to do this, so but maybe I have to, so let's see. Grab them all at once, just lift it up to position so I can see if I need to stretch it or not. That way it's fine, so it means I need to stretch it. Bring this all down, combine this. I don't want to combine those, okay, so I'll just pick the arm and this one and combine them. Now we will stretch it, but as you can see I still need to fit this. It's a little bit narrow in this area, so maybe scale it that way, it's good. And edit mesh, merge vertex tool, and let's start patching this. So this one will be, no, this is set to center, and yeah, I know that there is some kind of a, it'll have to go down that way, but don't worry, we'll try and manage fixing this. So this one over here, this one over here. Also we will have to add some edge loops, so this one over here, this one will be over here, and this one will go over here. This one over here, that one over here, this one goes here, and this one goes here. Alright, so let's add two edge loops, edit mesh, offset edge loops, and create this edge loop for those to be connected. So merge vertex tool and attach those. Cool. Now we need one more edge loop, which will be here. So press F8 and let's grab this edge here. Control right click, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. So it creates another edge here, as you can see, and we will be able to connect it. Yeah, it went good basically, so we only need to connect this area. Edit mesh, merge vertex tool, and patch this. I'm doing it from the inside because this is how it appears to, so that's cool. Now we will work on how this looks, because it definitely looks a little bit horrible. So we'll grab those and we can switch to scale tool, change to world or local or normal, no, object, a long rotation axis, maybe, okay, maybe that way it will be better, yeah. Now I think that's okay. It does look weird here, but let's add just an edge loop to constrain this thing, and that will be fine. Now next I want to change to face. Double click on this one, shift double click on this one, extrude it once and push the cube here of the red axis, which is the x-axis, a little bit to create two more edge loops. See? Now we'll extrude it again and pull this out a little bit, like so. And we can right click, choose edge, double click on this edge, and double click on this, on this edge, edit mesh, bevel, okay, just so it will look a little bit nice. F8 to bring it back to object mode. Let's bring this whole thing up. We ain't done yet on this because you do need to think of if we wanna combine these two together with this one. So first thing I will suggest is to bring them both down to earth, and first of all combine them. So they were, after combining, they are exceeding smooth preview mode, and that's okay because we need it that way. We're gonna grab these two, shift double click this one, and extrude it just a little bit, okay? Change the pivot here, so use the object and with your move tool just push it up a little bit, so, okay? And now press F8 to bring it back to object mode. Let's right click, choose these faces, double click on this one, so everything in between selected, shift select this and double click on this one, and let's bridge them. So bridge, so this is what will happen. Now we can simply try and attach this thing here to here, and this is going to be a very long task, so spare me that because I know that it can take some time to see how we can fit this. The basic idea is to grab this one here and do the same thing I've done at the second part with this part, okay, the pivot on the main pipe, but we will have to think of how we manage the edge number here, okay, after chamfering this, and to have the same value of edges to connect everything here the correct way. So I will undo that for now, and I will decide later on. By the way, we didn't attach this one to this one because there is a problem with this, and it can be a little bit hard to do this, but I just want to tell you that you can choose this one, right click, double click on this thing and push this inside. Okay, this is how it should be.